Here are some of my initial reactions and thoughts to the ninth episode of the third season of The Summer I Turned Pretty. Right away, I was pretty shocked that we just kind of abandoned Belly. Like, we're just like, okay, cool, we're gonna go hang out with Jeremiah for a little bit. I thought that was kind of weird. I would have rather have just followed her to Paris. And I am not really a fan of her getting there and not having the spot in the summer abroad. I'll get into that a little bit later, but I just felt like that was kind of a waste of time. I felt like this episode really depicted the codependency of Jeremiah to Belly really, really, really well. But man, anytime I feel any slight compassion for him, he does something really nasty. Him with Laurel, that was, I know he was angry, but it just shows that he always has this like nastiness, anger just bubbling under the surface. And I really hope getting away from Belly, he can grow from that because wow, it is just kind of nasty. And then when he lashed out at Belly for not wanting to come back and get back together, that was really nasty as well. So anytime I feel compassion for him, he does something where I'm like, you are really manipulative. So I really was like, can we not focus on Jeremiah so much? Like, I kind of, you'll later on I'll get to it, but there's a lot I feel like could have been condensed in this episode. I did like a lot of Taylor and Steven's screen time in this episode. I felt like a lot of their screen time was really important. I am so glad we wrapped up their relationship. I'm glad they finally had a real conversation of let's grow up, let's be together. I love you, you love me. I love that Taylor is low key Team Conrad now because she's finally just seeing like their love isn't as surface level as I had maybe thought it was. So I thought that was great. And I know people get mad at Steven for kind of snapping on Conrad a little bit, but remember season two, he was like really pissed off about prom. And he was pretty much like, leave my sister alone until he realized, oh, you like really love her. And Taylor was kind of reminding him of that in this episode. I did get like full body chills when he found out about Cabo. I was really, really, really happy about that. I don't think the parents need to find out about Cabo, honestly. I think everybody who needs to know knows, but I did really appreciate Taylor telling him, and she kind of thought he already knew. So I really appreciated all of Taylor and Steven's screen time this episode. I felt like it was very productive screen time, and we didn't waste time with them. And I'm sure people are going to want me to bring up Jer being kind of a psycho to Conrad when they're at the house. But I'm going to kind of just dive deeper into Jeremiah in a separate video about this episode because he was kind of crazy. But I do think long term he will see that Conrad was trying to be there for him as best as he could. I did really like the conversation Adam and Conrad had. I thought it was really needed. I did want Conrad to tell him, I know you cheated on mom with Kaylee. That was the only thing I thought was missing from that conversation, but I thought it was really great. And I almost was like, this is a moment Conrad can relate to his dad, that he needs to do the best he can to be there for Jeremiah by not physically being there. So I thought that was a great conversation and I really appreciated it. And I loved that Jeremiah just needed his dad and, just kind of let go of it all when he hugged him. I thought that was a really great moment. So it was a good episode for Adam. Shocking. Him and Laurel's little bickering was kind of funny, and you can kind of tell that, like, these people, they're family. Like, they are family. They're not getting rid of each other anytime soon. And they were fighting, but then they were kind of just laughing it off at the end. So I enjoyed that as well. And I know we're all Team Conrad and we love Conrad and we want him on screen the entire time, but he got about as much screen time as I kind of anticipated, maybe even a little bit more than I thought, simply because just from like my knowledge of, the epilogue from the book, I read the third book and just his character, I didn't expect him to like have a huge focus in this episode. Um, but I was really shocked. I felt like how little screen time Belly got. when I thought this was going to be a full-on huge Paris episode, I was completely wrong about my prediction for what I kind of thought this episode would entail. I did not expect us to just take the first 36 hours after the wedding for a full episode, considering how much, like, I don't know, I guess each episode's gone over like a day or two, but so much time is usually jumped in between each episode, so I was very shocked by that. But getting to Paris, I really kind of am not happy with how it started. I don't think it was needed for Belly to show up and not have a place in school when she thought she did. uh her getting her bag stolen isn't that bad, but I was like, can we just stop dealing with Belly having a bunch of issues? Like, her life just blew up. I wish it would have just been like she showed up, she got there, something may have happened where her friend group would have, like, and her would have connected. Maybe she did get a bag stolen at school or something, or where they were staying and she could find it or whatever. But I do like the friend group a lot so far. I really liked their introduction. Like, even though I wasn't a fan of Belly getting her bag stolen after the whole school situation, I thought it was really organic how she met her new friend group. And it is going to be Benito. They didn't change his name. But I definitely am not a fan of her having just back-to-back struggles as soon as she gets there. I just kind of thought it was a little bit of a waste of time. I definitely love whenever Lola Tongue is playing Belly Angry, her New York City comes out. I was literally like, oh shit, Belly's gonna fight this guy right now, isn't she? Because it felt like Lola has maybe fought a man. Like, I loved it. So I love when her NYC comes out, but I really, all in all, I thought it was a good episode of TV. I don't know if I loved it for one of the last three episodes when I feel like so much needs to happen. If this was like a 13 to 15 episode season, I would be like, oh, this was a great kind of filler episode. No, it's not filler because important stuff happened, but I feel like it took too long for important stuff to happen. I think episode 8 should have been 80, not 80, 90 minutes long and included Belly getting on the airplane, going to Paris, getting into her study abroad, meeting her friends, and the fallout of the wedding not happening. I think the last episode should have been 90 minutes and condensed this hour episode into those other 30 minutes. And that way we could have started this episode with a time jump, with her seeing that she is getting along with life in Paris and how she is moving on and finding herself finally. So I did like the episode, but I just wish it would have been in episode 8 as a kind of a supersized episode, which would have made sense because it's like, all right, we're finishing the book. Now let's get into unmarked territory, almost like a finale to the book to start the new chapter of Belly finding herself. But let me know your thoughts of the episode, and if you want me to break down anything specific from the episode, I will do a video about Jeremiah in this episode because he was a lot.